In a way, I think some games can actually become too big to mentally start. I first played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 about 6 months ago, and I've probably opened and played for 30 minutes like 15 times since then. For me, I feel like KCD2 is an intimidating game to get into because of feeling like I need multiple hours each time I open it just to catch back up to where I left off the last time I played. Often, I've loaded up the game feeling very good about actually committing to it this time. But then a week goes by, and due to only having 30 minutes to an hour, I just play other games or don't bother gaming at all until I find a few hours to play the game on the weekend. And then I feel like I'm just restarting from scratch every single time I play. Between the mechanics, the story, the UI, clothing systems, as well as simply just not having a clear path in the game, it's so much to keep track of and remember between sessions. As an adult, finding chunks of time to play is becoming harder and harder. It's also intimidating because I absolutely know how massive this game is. In a way, especially as an adult who after work I've got to take care of the house, figure out what I'm going to have for supper, and prepare for lunch next day. Maybe I have to do laundry or mow the lawn. It's easier to play some games that are more friendly to short bursts, such as Deep Rock Survivor on my Steam Deck, Rocket League, or even just running a few games of Battlefield 6. These games, it feels quite easy to play them for 30 to 60 minutes every few days and then still feel like I'm putting in a quality session while also making progress in the game. It's a much easier progression loop with a clear structure. For Deep Rock Survivor, all I have to do is ensure that my gear setups are good. Then I just load into a game, move my joystick around for a few minutes, hoping for some good RNG from supply drops, and then playing until I either make it to the end or I fail a mission. Either way, I probably had a good time and pick up right where I left off tomorrow. That being said, while I'm playing all of these other shorter games or short burst games, it's still in the back of my head. Even though I'm really enjoying all these other games that I'm playing, a part of me is still thinking about KCD2. I know that if I can get over this mental barrier, KCD2 can definitely be one of my most enjoyed games I've played, as long as I can allow myself to get immersed. With being someone who can only commit so much time during the week to video games, the smaller games are simply easier to emotionally commit to. Even though I was technically making progress through my backlog, it still felt like I was avoiding the experience I wanted the most. And I think that's when I started to realize something. Some of my favorite gaming experience has ever only happened because I allowed myself to fully disappear into them for a while. When I think back to games I truly loved, I wasn't thinking about my backlog. I wasn't checking achievement lists every 10 minutes, and I wasn't thinking about another game or what I should play next. I was just inside the game. I think games like KCD2 almost demand that kind of mindset. But I think I've gotten too used to constantly switching between things, such as watching videos while gaming, multitasking other projects on the other monitor, as well as not disconnecting from life as much as I should when trying to enjoy this hobby. As an adult, it feels harder now to commit to one experience. Not because games got worse, but because my attention is more divided. The games I remember most are usually the ones where I stopped thinking about progress for a while and just let myself exist in their world. And I think that's the mindset I'm trying to get back to. So, going forward, my plan is to block off a certain time in my day. Maybe it's between 7 and 9 p.m., where once I sit down, it's my time to enjoy my hobby, which is gaming. And even further, I'm simply going to allow myself to get immersed into these worlds again. Even with 1 hour each evening, I can definitely put that hour towards KCD2 and just zoning out in that world. I don't need to play other smaller games just because in my mind, I have smaller availability in the day to play. Even if I play for an average of 1.5 hours each day during the week and then 3 hours per day on the weekend, all of a sudden, after a month, I'm at over 50 hours of KCD2, and I really want to experience that game. To wrap everything up, I think somewhere along the way, I started treating games more like tasks than experiences. And honestly, I think KCD2 reminded me why I fell in love with gaming in the first place. It's not a fast game, it's not an efficient game, but it's a game that asks you to slow down, be patient, and actually live in their world for a while. I think I've spent too much time worrying about my backlog, switching between games, or trying to constantly make progress. And maybe the best gaming experiences happen when you stop thinking about all of that for a little while. So instead of treating huge games like obligations, I think I just need to let myself get immersed again. So while I'm still gonna play some smaller short burst games on my Steam Deck, such as Deep Rock Survivor, I'm also going to realize the fact that I get to play this game and it's a game that I get to experience and I just get to go live in this unique world for a while and get lost.